You know, college football is about to begin, and for the first time in more than 50 years, Bobby Bowden won't be involved. You know, he's one of the winningest coaches of all time. He's a luminary and was forced out at the university he helped build. Well, I want you to come to Tallahassee with me, to his home, and I want you to meet the legend. Sure, the fountains will still flow on the campus of Florida State University. The students will still stroll down the streets of Tallahassee. And big-time college football will still be played at Doak Campbell Stadium. But it won't be the same. Not at Florida State or anywhere else, now that Bobby Bowden is no longer on the sidelines.
It seems funny to me, but yet, you know, I was beginning, as I was getting older, I began to recognize these younger guys coming along, you know. And I'd ask myself, God, here I am, 75 years of age. Now I'm 80. What am I doing out here with these young guys? You know, I was beginning to feel that, you know. But I only wanted one more year, Tim.
In football, you don't get many opportunities. Now, what is sad is when an opportunity comes and you ain't ready.
Bobby Bowden coached football for 57 years, the last 34 at Florida State. He won early and he won often. Football, it seems, was Bowden's destiny. It has been near and dear to his heart ever since he grew up in Birmingham, Alabama.
My first 5 years of my life, my house was backed up to a football field. Woodlawn High School, which had won about 3 state championships in a row. I moved when I was 5. We moved out to Eastlake, and I was only a half a block from the football field at Howard College. So I was always around it.
After playing in high school and college, Bowden took a liking to coaching. After a decade moving up the ranks, Bowden was named head coach at West Virginia University in 1965. 11 years later, Bowden took over at Florida State, a program going nowhere. In fact, the school considered dropping football after going 4-29 the previous 4 seasons.
Yeah, we went 5-6 my first year, and of course they'd gone 3-8, 1-10, 0-11 before that. So 5 wins, boy, they were sitting on cloud 9. You know what? Then the next year we won 10, went to a bowl again for the first time in years, won the bowl, and got nationally ranked for the first time, you know, in years.
And with that, Bowden was off and winning. His program, one to be reckoned with.
When I first came here, it's very obvious. When I'd go out recruiting, trying to get a great player, and Tim, you've probably seen this too, walk into a high school and said, I'm interested in so-and-so, a great player. And the guy said, oh no, he's going to Notre Dame. Said, now this guy can play for you. Nobody else wants him. But this guy can play. That's the way it was when I first came here, you know. Then we started getting those good ones. We started stocking the NFL, you know, and so it worked out good.
The results read like misprints in the FSU Media Guide. 33 straight winning seasons, 28 consecutive bowl appearances, 14 years in a row finishing in the Associated Press Top 5, and of course, 2 national championships. The first in 1993, and then again in 1999. What goes through your mind when you think of those numbers and that success that you've had?
Well, you know, people used to always ask me when I was coaching, you know, said, have you ever thought about this or that? I said, no, I'm not looking back, you know. I said, when I retire, maybe I can look back and see what happened, you know. Well, now I am retired, and a lot of things happened good like that. I didn't know why it happened. I knew it was happening. I mean, we went 14 bowls in a row without losing. We did have a tie. We went 11 where we won all of them. You know, I don't know why that happened.
Bowden was on the wrong side of the score occasionally. His most difficult defeats came courtesy of the wide rights, the infamous missed field goals, which cost Florida State chances for even more titles.
Oh, man, golly. Man, I'd have had championship trophies all over these walls if we could kick straight.
I mean, the game was yours.
No, I know
the
it.
games, plural.
Came down to the last kick, and they're all of them within range, you know, but we just missed them. Wasn't meant to be.
I can still see the look on your face, but you handled it with such class, and it had to be so painful.
It was so obvious in that first game with the University of Miami. And I said, boy, if that thing's long enough, we're going to win. Well, I'm looking at it from the side. I can't see it go through. And when he kicks it, I saw it go long enough. That was when I went out on the field. It was on television.
Took your headset off and you said,
I said, what? I saw Miami running out on the field. And I'm thinking, what are they running out on the field for, you know? Then I realized that dadgum thing missed. Then I got used to it. We got where we did it every year.
You know, they say you never reach your greatest accomplishments in life until you've suffered defeat.
Yeah.
Defeat makes you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. I've always felt like that. Anybody can be a good winner. Anybody can do that. It's hard to be a good loser, you know, but that's where character is formed. If you don't have adversity in your life, how are you going to prove you even got character? You know what? So it's something we all have to go through with, and but you get stronger because of it.
Up next, Bobby Bowden on his most profound defeat.
How much did it hurt that the NCAA took some of those away?
Oh, that made me, that was sickening. That was sickening.
Plus, how his legendary career ended too soon and why.
The president and the trustees, they're the ones that make the decision, wanted to go ahead and make the change.
So when we left you saw the wide rights, and Bobby Bowden may have had a couple more national championships. What we haven't talked about yet is his battle, his race with his good friend, Joe Paterno at Penn State. Bobby Bowden's remarkable run at Florida State catapulted him into a coaching duel of sorts.
Joe Paterno and Bobby Bowden, two of the most successful coaches in the college game.
Bowden and his very close friend, Penn State head coach Joe Paterno, spent the last decade neck and neck in a race for most wins all time. Bowden passed Paterno in 2003, and the race seemed destined to go down to the wire. But in 2007, an academic cheating scandal rocked Florida State. Football and 9 other sports were implicated. Before the 2009 season kicked off, the NCAA ruled that the football team must vacate 12 wins. Bowden was now a lap down in his race with Paterno, a lap he would never make up. Bobby, the race with Joe Pa, I know you guys mutual admiration for each other.
Yeah.
How much did it hurt that the NCAA took some of those away?
Oh, that made me, that was sickening. That was sickening. I mean, gee whiz, the thing that happened, we coaches had nothing to do with that. You know what? In my opinion, cheating should be a university affair. The university should handle cheating. It has nothing to do with winning football games, you know what? And so our university fired the people responsible, gave all the boys F. If it had been a student, what would they have done? They'd have fired the teachers and given the students F. Gave them all F, suspended them. We suspended them for 4 games ourselves. Lost 2 of them, you know, 25 guys out. And then they come in there and take away 12 ball games. No, I didn't like that at all, but nothing I can do about it.
That's one of the things that's changed so much, and we saw it a lot of places. The one that really strikes home to me is Lefty Driesell at Maryland, you know, with the Len Bias situation.
Yeah.
It's like the coach carries the burden of everything that takes place, even away from school.
Oh, yeah. You know, when you compare this thing, a university professor, a doctor, he teaches a class. Class is over. He has them for an hour. They're gone. He's got no responsibility. If they get in trouble at night, he don't hear anything about it. You know what? A football coach, he's responsible for every minute of 100 players. You can't even keep up with 6 children. I had 6 children I couldn't keep up with.
While the scandal was running its course, Florida State anointed Bowden's would-be successor. Offensive coordinator Jimbo Fisher was named coach-in-waiting in late 2007. Fisher's contract stated that Fisher would replace Bowden by the end of 2010, or else the school would have to pay Fisher a $2.5 million buyout. Bowden's contract was renegotiated annually, and it seemed that Bowden would coach through 2010 before giving way to Fisher, but that didn't happen. Late last season, it was announced that 2009 would be Bowden's last, his final home game against Maryland on November 21st. I did your last game on campus at Florida State. You and I sat down. You were gracious enough to let us talk, and you said you wanted to go one more year.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was just time, I guess, that the university felt like the president and the trustees, they're the ones that make the decision, wanted to go ahead and make the change. It was set up that Jimbo would take over in 2011. You know, so I was geared for that. And then all of a sudden, they decided about time for me to go on, you know, so I did. I was disappointed. I thought, sure, they'd let me go one more, but I didn't get it. And I'm completely happy right now.
Bowden's final game was the Gator Bowl against West Virginia, the school Bowden coached before taking over in Tallahassee. Florida State won 33-21, and Bowden was carried off the field one final time. A bittersweet goodbye indeed.
Oh, you know, people used to ask me, Coach Bowden, what's the greatest thing that's happened to you in coaching? I'd say this seriously. The greatest thing ever happened to me, I coached 57 years without getting fired. I guess everything has to end sooner or later, you know. Maybe I said it too soon, I don't know. But I was happy that I was able to coach. I got hung in effigy a few times, you know, and tried to run me out of town, but things worked out good.
Bobby Bowden will turn 81 in November. His new book, Called to Coach, has just been released, and his calendar is plentiful with public speaking engagements.
You're not an 80-80, you know what I mean? You're more like a 50-80.
Well, like you and I were talking about earlier, I've seen people 80 years young. I've seen people 50 years old. You know, all of it's up there and has to do with health.
Bobby and his wife Ann have been married for 61 years. They have 20 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren to keep them busy. Bobby Bowden's statue will forever stand outside Doak Campbell Stadium, but Bowden says he will not attend a game there this season. A clean break, at least for now. Bobby Bowden won't be the same without football, and it surely won't be the same without him.
Any regrets?
Any regrets? Not now. At first, when I left, when I found out I couldn't coach, it was so different. But now, no. I mean, it doesn't take me long to adjust. You know, I'm making speeches all over the country. I'm enjoying it, meeting a lot of people, trying to make a living.
You're going to get some of those pangs in your stomach when the season kicks off, though?
I don't think so. I think that's the one thing I'll miss. I won't miss. You know, people ask me, are you going to miss coaching? No, I ain't going to miss coaching at all. I don't think I will. I'm 80. If I was 50, yeah, I might miss it, but I'm 80. I ain't coaching anymore. You know what? So I don't think I'll miss it all. I'll enjoy watching it, and I'll be watching you, you know. Now, I'll be criticizing you. I'm going to get you.
I deserve it.
I'm going to get on you.
I deserve it.
And I hope you're watching tonight, Bobby, because this is for you, partner. College football is like a microcosm of life. It's got success, it's got failure, and the good times sure are fun. Fall and football, it's like a refresher. Brings people together of all ages, young and old, and for that one day, they're all kids again. This weekend, actually this season, I want you to put on your colors, support your team, and celebrate the spirit of college football. Thanks for watching, everybody. So long.